Welcome to the first episode of the Why Not podcast, where we explore new ways of living and learn new things. I'm Bowen, joined by my great friend Parsa, and today we'll be reviewing our journey in learning how to spin a basketball on one finger over the past 2 weeks. If you're listening on Spotify, we have recorded and documented our progress, which you can check out on our YouTube channel, Why Not, with a question mark. I'll be sure to provide a link to that video in the description of this episode. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and record this episode today, and I pay my respects to the elders past and present and emerging.
Okay, so in this first episode, we're gonna be discussing what we did and why we chose to spin a basketball as our first video. And we're gonna be also covering our experiences in our journey of learning, including what we learned through the basketball spinning video, the tips that we might have to offer, and how cool it was and overall satisfaction with learning the new skill, how long it took us, and does this make us motivated to continue learning new skills?
Yes. Given this is the first episode that we're ever putting out on our channel, so we're going to first of all spend a bit of time to go over, the details of our channel, who we are, what we're going to do, what sort of content we're going to be posting on our channel and on Spotify.
I'm Parsa. I'm a second year biomedical student at Monash University, and
I'm Bowen. I also study at Monash, and I'm studying a Bachelor of Psychology. Just part of the channel, we're trying to just document our experiences and trying to learn new skills, experiment with new ways of living.
True, yeah. We're both pretty health conscious in a sense, so we thought, and we relatively have similar personalities in that sense, that we do care quite a lot about our lifestyles, and we thought that with this new generation it's a little bit different with the new technology arising and everything that's coming up. So we thought that this might be a good idea to share our journeys and maybe encourage a few people to put down their bad habits and try and improve their lifestyles if they want it, or otherwise just join us on our journey on learning new cool things and then trying out new lifestyles.
Yeah, it's a pretty good description of what we want to do. We can talk about what our plans are. So we do want to upload on a fortnightly schedule. So 1 week of it's going to be us doing some sort of self-experiment. We have that video lined up for next week. And then on the alternating week, we'll just do something along the lines of learning a new skill. So for this one, it would obviously be, by the time this gets released, the video for learning how to spin a basketball, which we've chosen to do as our first one. So just given this is early days, we just want to keep putting out content, see how we go.
True. Given it's our very first video, we're very excited, but at the same time quite a bit nervous. It's the first one. It's not an easy thing to do. We have put quite a bit of an effort into it as well, so it's important for us to make this something that's consistent and long term. And so our schedule, like I said, fortnightly, 1 week we'll be producing a video. So that'll be the learning new skill, or like you said, adapting a new lifestyle. Followed by that week, we're going to be releasing our podcast episode, and then the week after would be the new video, followed by the podcast related to that video.
So for now, we're just going to carry on, see how we go. We know that the type of content that we put out on our channel, given that we're only second year uni students, we're not going to necessarily be experts in any of the topics that we talk about, which we think is fine. At the end of the day, we're just experimenting with new things, documenting how we go with learning skills and everything.
Pretty much.
So it's not, we're not going to necessarily provide we're not the experts on any topics. But we're here to give our journey on there. So for our viewers and anyone interested, they can see how we go.
True. We are not experts, but on the bright side, we will be making sure to produce the newest and the most well-researched scientific information on any topic.
Yes.
We're planning on making our videos very scientific based. So this will be, since I'm a biomed student and he's a psychology student, our courses are heavily based on understanding research papers. So this would kind of give us an edge in understanding newest papers and summarizing those down for the general public to be able to understand. And in a format of video, which is even more convenient for the audience. Given that, our own results that we may get from our new lifestyles or any sort are all subjective, which we try to kind of add on to that with making objective data from the research papers to kind of give an overall understanding of what the correct direction for that, as in like right now, where it is to go.
Yeah, is that about it? Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there's some more.
So we found, you could be listening to this on either Spotify or YouTube, but we have also created accounts on TikTok and Instagram, which we'll link in the description of this episode. So check us out everywhere. We should be uploading on all these platforms very soon.
Yep, and that's why.not.lab.
Yes.
For our TikTok and Instagram, and Spotify and YouTube are why not with a question mark.
That's correct.
Yeah, let's get into our first video.
Yeah, first video. So with our videos, we have a bank of ideas that we just discuss with each other, and we vote on which ones are most practical to do at the moment. We decided to spin a basketball for the first one, just because it's nice and easy to record.
Definitely.
We thought it'd be pretty straightforward. It was inspired by Mike Boyd, the YouTuber.
Boyd. Yeah.
I came across his video on learning how to spin a basketball a couple of years ago, watched it a couple of times, and I just thought, this would be such a cool skill.
Definitely. Especially as a first video, we thought, because it's a more like an experimental kind of thing to start with. So we thought it's both easy, it doesn't require much research in that sense, and it's just something we all kind of always wondered how to do. So why not give it a try?
Why not, right? That's
the whole channel about.
Yeah.
We should probably give a quick description about where why not kind of came about.
We probably should. Why not? One day we sat down, we decided we wanted to make a YouTube channel. The topic of the channel name came across. We had a couple of contenders.
We did.
But yeah, in the midst of it, I just thought, why don't we just call it Why Not? Because
why
it's all
not?
about trying new things.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all about trying out new stuff, making new adjustments to lifestyle, trying out new skills. Why not give it a try with us? Come and join us on our journey.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's about it for introduction. Should we get on to the basketball video?
We absolutely can. So
okay. Let's get started.
How long has it been? 3 weeks? 2-3 weeks since we decided?
Yeah, it was the Friday 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
So we just got in a room, started spinning basketballs.
Yeah.
Or trying to, but failing.
Trying to, for sure.
Yeah.
Check out the video if you want to see us trying.
Yeah.
It was a tragic start for sure.
Definitely. We thought, had a couple good moments every day. Just seeing us improve. Yeah, on the first days I remember just balancing the ball on my finger. I could barely do it for 2 or 3 seconds, and the few times that I managed it, I was thinking. I ran to the camera and said, "That's so cool."
That's so cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
That was you the whole time. Every single clip. That's too cool.
that's too cool. That's too cool. But then so that was day one, which you could see in our video.
Yeah.
Then we split off, recorded in our own times.
Yeah.
And then we sort of documented every single day that we went along the way with the timestamp, and just cut out all the good moments, the best moments from each day, most interesting.
Yeah, pretty much. We also did include some failures.
We did
the video because they're kind of funny. Other than that, we basically just recorded our own time. We did come together a few times
Yep.
throughout our journey.
Mm.
But we're both kind of at different levels, so we'll get into that very soon.
Yes. I guess we can just talk about the key milestones that we had along the way in learning how to spin. So obviously in the early hours, it felt really good to even have the ball balanced on your finger for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
It was just, you spin the ball, see how long it can last before it falls off. But then gradually, I think for me it was probably around 2 hours in or something like that, I thought the ball would run out of speed. And from the clips that I watched, I thought you have to start slapping the ball really slightly on the side to add some spin to it. So I started experimenting with that a bit. And then in the beginning, failed miserably. The balls just bounced off everywhere.
Yeah.
But then, I had to pick up different ways to like slap it perfectly along the way. And then, day 4, day 5, day 6, I think I just started getting really good at the spin. And then for me, it was just about picking the right amount of spin and just having the ball stay on my finger. And then eventually, 20 seconds.
So our goal for the video was to get to 20 seconds of spinning the ball.
Yes.
On one finger. And
there's going to be a part 2.
Okay.
Why is that?
Okay, there will be a part 2. All right, listen. All right. Okay, so the timing of the experiment was right before our exams.
That's correct.
Which was a bit of a stressful time. Still, Bowen got his 20 seconds. She actually got it a few times.
I think I did.
Yeah.
On camera, I got it twice, but I'm pretty sure I could maybe get it in a few tries.
Yeah. But for me, it's still not on my 10-second mark yet. Getting close there, very, very close. But that makes for a part 2 even better. A second video, which would be different to our normal scheduling, probably like an additional one that we'll just release somewhere in between. So wouldn't be the best at giving tips at the moment, but I can spin it pretty well on my one finger.
Yep.
The parts I personally struggled with the most was trying to get the right speed and slapping the ball at the correct time to like make it stay on my finger without it like falling off or reducing its speed. Do you have any tips?
To be honest, given that it's a bit of a motor skill, you got to pick up.
That's a bit rude.
No, but the last time I spun with you,
yeah,
you learned how to slap it just on the edge, almost like you're missing it.
Yeah.
So that just, I feel like, adds the right amount of spin without the ball necessarily bouncing off. So that ended up, I think, working well.
Okay.
All right.
So for our audience who are listening to learn about how to spin a basketball, where should they start from?
Where should they start from? I reckon in the beginning, you could reference our video and several the ones from Mike Boyd, but it's a journey. I feel like with your hand and a basketball, it can't go wrong if you just spin a couple of times. I feel like you should get there. But yeah, in the end, it's about trial and error. But for me, the journey was having the ball balanced on your finger, and then once I could do that comfortably, I was thinking about adding a bit of spin, and then failed that a few times, and then realized, okay, I need to get good at really adding the spin consistently. Then I slowly got better at that. Then I got a bit annoyed because I was thinking, okay, I could do like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Why can't I do 20? Because there was like a 4 or 5 day gap where I just thought I was going to get 20 seconds, but then I couldn't.
Yeah.
So during those days, I tried to just... I was growing frustrated because I was thinking, today's the day. Yeah. But it wasn't the day.
Right.
And then, one day I was like, okay, let's try and record. Let's get it. I was like, today really is the day.
Today really is the day,
yeah,
right.
And then, thankfully, I ended up getting it.
That's good.
But yeah, it took me 10 days in total. I think somewhere around 7 hours. I probably just exceeded the 7 hour mark. Actually, while I was editing the footage, I looked at yours. You're actually not that far off. You're actually, I don't think you've even reached 7 hours in total.
No, haven't yet.
And you've totaled like 14. So you practice less on each day, but it's more spaced out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pretty confident you can do, if for our part 2,
Yeah.
it wouldn't take that much because
Yeah.
we're still, like, time-wise at the same spot in the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, do you know how many hours I was on?
Probably at the time of recording, I would say you're just below 7 hours. Maybe
Just
6
below
hours.
7,
6
okay.
hours 50 something.
Well, I'm not too far off. Like,
Yeah.
I can control the ball relatively well on my finger. Could have it going on for quite a bit. It's just a matter of being able to hit the ball at
Yeah.
the correct angle, which I've kind of managed to do given I practiced with Bowen a little bit. He was nice and kind enough to give me his tips. His tips were pretty good. One that I feel like we don't really have this on our video, but one that I felt like was really helpful was having my hand open while it spins on my finger. Initially, I had it closed just on one finger like this, but then it moved to like this. The other one was kind of, well, with spinning the basketball, you really have, it's a motor set, it's a motor skill, right? That's for sure. But it's also a lot of cognitive effort.
Yes.
You really have to be paying attention to the speed of the ball, where the ball is about to go, how it is feeling on your finger, and then based on that, you'll be hitting the ball at the right time and angle, and hopefully it won't be falling off. But other than that, those are basically my tips. If anything, I would just say that literally the very first day, if you practice for just over 30 minutes, you should be able to get the ball to spin on your finger for at least a second or two, which is pretty encouraging to keep going. But with practice, it'll only be getting better.
You took the words out of my mouth. I feel like I agree with everything you said, especially the point of really focusing on learning the skill, because I think that's something you weren't really able to do when you had a lot of academic pressure with your exams.
That is
going.
true. That is
yeah,
true.
because with me, I was pretty like my exam wasn't that important for me, so I could, I was able to just focus on just having the ball spin on my finger, and I was paying attention to all these things like how it felt, how I should be adding spin, and just how each failure felt like, and what a good slap on the ball felt like. And I think I was probably in those early hours better able to just use that feedback to improve my technique and everything. So I guess as with every skill, but this one is an example. If you want to learn something, you can't really just put half of your attention into it. It's about doing focus work and making it work. Also, I realized for the people listening to this, it's a bit hard to illustrate visually how it is, the tips that you just gave of having an open hand.
I guess they could check out the video for that.
They could check out the video. Just if you're listening, what Parsa did, you gestured not to spin the basketball when your finger is essentially pointing up with one finger, but to have all your different fingers open. I don't know if it matters that much, but it worked for me and it worked for him.
Yeah, it just felt a bit more stable. Like initially when I just had it, I was used to having it just on one finger with my hand closed.
Yeah.
But then after opening my hand, it just both felt more stable on my finger, which was nice.
Yes.
And speaking of academic pressure and the whole cognitive aspect of it, I feel like this might actually apply for other skills as well while we learn. And while I feel like this, I talked to Bowen like while we were at the experiment, like in day 2, day 3, and while I was trying to spin it, because I had an anatomy exam about the whole body. Literally, I guess fun fact about my biomed kind of journey. And while I would be spinning, like my brain would just be like calling out different muscles of the body, like intrinsic back muscles, or the thigh muscles, or the leg muscles, and then like I'll just lose focus for a second, and then be like, okay, come back, pay attention to what you're doing. But then it's really important to have a mental clarity when you're out. I feel like if you're doing it just to learn for fun, it should be much easier to focus on it.
Yes.
But given the fact that I was doing it because it was a video and it was kind of clashing like just week before my exam, I feel like it just had a bit of a time pressure and time constraint plus the exam. It was a little bit difficult to focus on it, but I still got practice in and I could see the improvement every day. I think we should talk about sleep now. Like, how you felt after each day.
We probably should. So there's a couple of things to mention here. Obviously, my journey spanned over 10 days. I only really missed 1 day, maybe 2 days. So I got it done under 2 weeks. And we were talking about, we actually expected this to be done in like 4 hours, not 7 hours.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Because the video that encouraged us
Yes.
to do it, he did it in 4 hours, I
Yes.
believe. And he was doing some very cool stuff.
Yes.
But then I think he might have like practiced a bit more even after hitting the 30-second mark.
That's possible. Or we hypothesized that maybe he just recorded like 10 minutes, 20 minutes every day. And it was actually spanned out like multiple weeks.
Ooh, that's true. We
something
did
like
hypothesize that. Yeah, that's right.
We hypothesized this because we know the importance of sleep when it comes to learning a motor skill.
Yep.
So, there's no way, even for me who did it in a total of 7 hours, there's no way I could just spend 7 hours in a day trying to learn how to do this. Not possible.
No, but if any of you guys want to try and challenge that, go for it and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, but obviously sleep is crucially important in this process of learning. But aside from sleep, I also showed the camera in the video. Day 5-ish, when I expected this whole thing to be done, I got this pretty bad blister on my finger.
I saw.
I think when the ball spins really quickly, there's so much friction on this tip of your finger point where it's balancing. My skin started like peeling off a little bit, and then, in the moment I was like, okay, let's just try and see how much I can spin. But then it got worse. I had spun it on my middle finger for the past like 5-6 days, and then I had to think, okay, no way this is going to work. I'm going to try my index finger. It actually ended up working all right. So maybe end up building some dexterity in my index finger as well, which is good.
Yeah, potentially.
My final 20 seconds, fun fact, was done on my index finger. So
impressive.
Yeah, goes to show maybe it's just not, you can do this with it either. At least that's the case for me. So yeah, rest and recover. I guess if you're someone who's trying to learn this, don't keep going if skin is peeling off your finger.
Yeah, definitely not when it's peeling off. But I don't know. I don't want to get too much into sleep and like non-REM and like bodily recovery and then REM and mental and mind recovery and all that. But I feel like each day, especially like for me, the first few days, I really noticed this was, especially like after you finish a session and then you go sleep, right? The night. And then the next morning, or like whenever you come to practice again, like especially the first 10 minutes, I really felt like there was a very significant improvement. Yeah. Especially when it comes to ball control. Like it's kind of like it's kind of like a graph where you see a plateau, and it's like, for example, at the start, the first few days, you see a huge significant improvement, and then after that, the improvements are going to become less and less and less. Yeah. And sometimes, like Bowen mentioned, it can be a bit frustrating. Yes. Especially when you hit a mark where you don't really see much improvement. So I would say be patient with that. But the point I was getting at is after each night of sleep, you will see a huge significant improvement. Yeah. So don't be too disappointed within the day of your practice if you don't see much results. Come back next day. If not, take another extra day of break. And it's a bit of a time-consuming process. Yeah. But most people would eventually get there.
I think so as well. I wish we could link all the papers that tell you the importance of sleep on motor learning for this video, but
we'll talk about
sometime in the future. We'll definitely
we have a few videos on sleep as well. So
or forget sleep, even the next time we try and learn something, we can
what could we do?
We're not gonna reveal.
Okay, true.
But
we'll give it a teaser.
Yeah, just a thing for us to know. Maybe in the future, episodes like these, we can just link a couple studies that talk about.
True. I
what's
mean,
important.
we could, but this one's like not a hugely
True.
significant sleep-based one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, but it does play a crucial role. So I thought it was important to mention the role of sleep in there.
Yeah.
Could talk about diet and exercise and
Yeah.
athleticism, but they all relate,
Yeah,
but
I
not
get what you
so
mean.
much. Yeah, I feel like just with practice,
Yeah.
most people should be able to spin a basketball relatively easily.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now that we've kind of discussed the basketball tips and our genuine experiences with it, we'll dive back into our channel a little bit more
Yep.
and give a bit more insight of what's there to come, what's new, what'll be happening.
Yeah. We realize this is a pretty unstructured podcast episode, but for the first episode, please forgive us.
Yeah.
We're figuring things out.
True. Yeah, well, it's a bit unstructured, but hopefully you guys understand. It'll be much better next times. But to kind of dive back to our start, we also wanted to give a little bit of a background. We gave a background on how we came up with the name, but we didn't really talk much about where the idea came from and why we decided to make it. We kind of did actually talk about the reasoning behind why we started it, which was to encourage other people to implement healthy habits
Yep.
and reduce kind of the bad habits, I guess.
Yeah.
But how did we, I don't know, came up with actually starting it?
Well, one afternoon you decided to tell me we really got to start a YouTube channel. We really have to. We've got all these ideas. We need a platform
We need
to
it.
share it with the world and see if we can create like a niche for ourselves. And we've settled on a YouTube channel called Why Not? We just want to do experiments, learn new skills, see where that goes. This could change. We don't necessarily have to be sticking to this fortnightly schedule of experiment, learning.
Definitely,
learning.
yeah.
Maybe 3 months down the line we got some new ideas, better ideas.
Exactly. It's just a start to get us ready. First of all, we want to kind of get the hang of recording, talking to each other, I guess, podcasting,
Yes.
talking to camera, editing, handling footage, audio, and all that.
Yeah.
So we understand the first couple of videos might be a bit disorganized. We're trying our best, but most certainly it would not be the of best quality.
Yeah. Not the
But-
best production value, but
It will always get better. You know,
Definitely.
with practice, just like spinning a basketball, it will get better.
actually this creating a YouTube channel is actually a video of learning a new skill.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. It's a new skill for us. So maybe we'll make a YouTube video on how to make a YouTube video.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
We'll
Maybe
see how
one
far
day
we
when
go.
we're professionals. Yeah.
Time to talk about our next video, perhaps.
Next
a
video?
little bit.
Oh, we don't want to give too much away.
We don't want to. It's going to be an experiment.
It will
It
be
is
an
already
experiment.
underway at the time of recording.
Yeah.
Um,
Started today.
started today.
Well, we've been recording data for a week, but the actual experiment.
That's
started
true.
today.
That's true. We've done something to ourselves, which we'll find out
Oh.
in probably a week's time from when this is released.
Well, 2 weeks?
No, 1
No,
week. So
1
1
week,
week.
yeah,
for the video,
yeah,
1
1
week for the podcast. Yeah, we've got articles lined up, research done as much as we could do.
Yeah.
And then mentioned our uploading schedule. We'll just say that as uni students that we are right now,
Yep.
it's the winter break as
Yep.
we record. So for both of us, we have a fair amount of time to sort of dedicate into our channel, work on things, learn, the nitty-gritty details of how to edit, how to just work with this whole new experience setup, right?
Yeah.
But one of my concerns, and I've told you obviously several times, is when the semester starts, we're still students first of all.
That's true.
So we're going to be focused on our studies and having this on the side.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of intense effort that we're putting into this channel
Yeah,
at
definitely.
the moment.
It will be it will be very, very difficult. Because especially with you're doing 4 units,
Yes.
whereas I'm doing only 3 units. So
Yes.
mine would be a little bit lighter. Biomed is no light though.
Mm.
Even 3 units is still very time consuming.
Yep.
But given that, we understand that it's hard work But that's like everyone. Hard things come with hard work. So
That's right.
no, the saying goes, great things come with hard work.
Don't know how the saying goes, but I agree with what you're saying.
But yeah, we will be trying our best to keep up the schedule. Might have to make some adjustments, but hopefully, be using this winter break. It's a very, very good opportunity to get the hang of stuff. And by the time the semester starts, hopefully we have everything sorted out and easy to navigate through, so we don't have to do much research on how to do stuff. Rather, we just do the stuff.
Definitely.
Let's see how it goes. New experiences.
Well, that brings us to the end of our first episode.
That was a decent episode.
Yeah, pretty nice experience for us to have recorded it.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot.
Hopefully it wasn't too boring to listen to.
Not too unstructured.
Yeah.
But to the viewer, we're very thankful to anyone who's been able to keep their attention all the way to the end of this podcast.
We appreciate you guys, family, friends, or new viewers.
Or maybe you're somewhere around the world
that's trying to learn how to spin a basketball.
Yeah, and we wish you the best of luck if you want to take up learning this skill. So, yeah, we're just happy if anyone's clicked on this video.
Yeah. It's more of like just trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
But if you guys listen, thank you so much.
We really appreciate you guys.
Do a lot to us, and let's just make it an end. We should come up with a cool outro.
We should.
Okay. I think we should cut it now. All right.
Should we?
Have a good day.
Guys, I can't stop laughing. I'm going to get past it to the outro.
Okay.
Thank you.
What? Alright. Thank you guys for listening to us today. We're really glad to have you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you.
Oh my god. Welcome to the first episode. Wait. I'm going to say hello. Welcome to the first episode of the Why Not podcast, where we explore new ways of living and learn new things. I'm Bowen, joined by my great friend Parsa. What is that? Welcome to the first episode. That's so funny. Why are you laughing? Welcome to the first episode. What's so funny?
I don't know. But it's fine.
If you listened up until this stage, we thank you for your attention. Please continue to listen. It sounded like an outro. I thought
you were finishing.
No, it wasn't.